How's it going, everybody? My name is John. I'm here with Rover Naperville, part of the Patrick Dealer Group. We got an awesome car to show you today. We got a 2024 Land Rover Defender V8. This thing is an absolute beast. 518 horsepower, matte black everything. Let's do it. Defender V8. This thing is just an absolute beast. Absolutely love this spec. This one in particular is a Carpathian edition, which means you get this awesome Carpathian matte gray paint, which looks unbelievable. Then you get the gloss black roof, accents at the front bumper, gloss black roof, mirrors, and door sills at the bottom. And then you also have the 22-inch black wheels, which look unbelievable. And then this being also a V8, you get the upgraded Brembo brakes, different exhaust, things like that. Couple cool interior differences as well. Let's spin around, I'll show you the back. Let's do this like a magic trick. All right, let's see if this works. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, and going around to the back of the car, a couple of other little differences here. Instead of the red brake calipers that you get on the standard Defender V8, they're all blacked out. And then the taillights are also smoked out as well. Of course, they're lit up right now, but instead of being full red, they're a little bit smoked out, have a little bit of a more gray, kind of clear, translucent vibe to them. Looks really, really cool. Love the taillights on here. I know a lot of people are iffy about them, but they're different than every other car, so they look good in my book. You also have the full-size spare tire cover in the kind of two-tone paint to match the rest of the car, and of course, just like in every Defender, you have the barn door style rear opening to fit whatever you need into. The 110 is probably the best size for being able to have cargo room. You have a ton of space in here. You don't have that third row getting in the way, and you have that same kind of longer wheelbase than you would in the 90 too. So yeah, really, really good design. They definitely thought about it well. Everything feels nice and sturdy. Everything's rugged about this car, especially some things more about the inside. Speaking of which, let's go hop in. But first, I'm going to tell you how the exhaust sounds. All right, so taking a look at the interior first, one of the cool things to note about the Defenders is that they actually keep the inner door skin in body color where you can actually see it from the inside of the car. So all this is metal here. So say if you get a white one, you're actually going to be able to see the body paint from the inside of the car as well, which I think is really, really cool, and it'll help kind of differentiate the interior on a lighter car. But this one has the vintage tan interior, which looks absolutely beautiful. I love this spec. A nice classy look on the inside for such a rugged vehicle. With the Carpathian edition, you also get the Alcantara steering wheel, which looks fantastic and feels really good in your hands. But nice, cool little features on the inside. One of my favorites being that all of the buttons in the center here are actually huge, and they do that so that you can wear gloves while you use them. So if it's in the snow, you don't have to worry about taking your gloves off to touch some tiny little buttons. Always looks really, really good. You got plenty of chargers down at the bottom, including a wireless charger there as well. And one of the coolest features, pardon my pun, is that in the center here, there's actually a cool box where you can turn it on and keep your drinks cool in the summertime, which is really neat. So if you're out doing some outdoorsy stuff, you got fresh drinks waiting for you back in the Defender. But yeah, plenty of room in the back seat as well. Yeah, just a really well thought out interior, a bunch of cool little touches. I especially love the center tunnel with the little cutout at the bottom to store extra stuff. Yeah, just really, really well done Land Rover, and especially having a nice classy interior like this on an otherwise really badass, rugged looking vehicle. Just really, really nice contrast, looks great. Let's get it on the road and get to driving. Alright, driving the Defender V8, and the first thing I gotta say is this car is so cool. I feel like the bad guy in every action movie, like I'm about to go chase Tom Cruise or Jason Bourne or the Fast and the Furious crew through some crazy city center and destroy a whole bunch of stuff. I just feel like I'm in an action movie driving this car, which is really cool, especially since they have done like James Bond edition Defenders in the past. You do really get that vibe, and it is just perfect casting for those movies to have this car in it. It really does just represent like the bad guy kind of vibe. You feel menacing driving this car. It's just a very cool feeling, not gonna lie. And I especially love this Alcantara steering wheel. Just gives you that sporty vibe in an otherwise kind of big, luxurious off-roading SUV. Just really, really cool. And you got this awesome V8 soundtrack to back it up. There's a 5-liter V8 in here. Like I mentioned, 518 horsepower. Just has a great soundtrack. And yeah, just an awesome all-around driving experience. You just feel so cool driving this car. So I was trying to think of competitors to this car, and the only one that I could really think of that matches both the performance and off-road capability is something like a Bronco Raptor. But even then, the sophistication and kind of refinement of this Defender just put it miles ahead of that car. Yes, it's quite a bit more expensive. This car is $122,000 as tested, so it's definitely not cheap. But yeah, that just stands it apart from the rest of the SUV crowd. If you want to be different, but still have practicality, performance, and luxury, the Defender is really one of only very, very few options out there. So one thing I really love about the Defender is how unique it is, even compared with all the rest of the Land Rover lineup. There really is no kind of part sharing between like the Discovery and things like that. It is really its own unique driving experience, and even the exterior, the whole interior here just feels uniquely Defender, and it doesn't feel like it's kind of a shared kind of conglomeration of a whole bunch of different vehicles put into one. It feels like it was built ground up as a Defender, which is really cool because the Defender has such a long storied history of being such a great kind of icon of off-road capability that I think it really deserves that. Yeah, I just cannot get over this engine too. It just sounds so good. I don't know what Jaguar and Land Rover do with their V8s to get that kind of raspy, kind of throaty sound that they do. But just being able to play around with these paddle shifters and just put your foot down and just hearing just this kind of roar, it's just awesome. It just sounds fantastic. It's so much fun to play around with and just have it make all those kind of angry noises. Again, just feeding more into that kind of bad guy in the movies vibe. All right, so it's not very often that you find a car with 2 personalities, but this one has 3. It can be your kind of luxurious SUV. Again, this car is not cheap, but having all these kind of nice leather appointments all over the interior, it could definitely go out to like a nice dinner, go out on the town in this car. But then when you want it to be your sports car, you just hit down on the paddle shifters, put your foot down, and this thing is gonna scream and make a whole bunch of noise and give you a lot of fun. But then if we also want to put a pair of boots on and go climb a mountain, it's more than happy doing that too. So it really just depends what you're in the mood for. This car is gonna be able to do it and be happy to do it. So yeah, a bunch of whole different personalities, which just makes it an even better bargain in my mind. All right, thank you all so much for watching the video. I had a great time making it for you. Let us know in the comments what you think about the Defender and the V8 model. Who would not want to drive around in this car and feel like a total badass? It is just so, so cool. Stay tuned for more videos to come. We got more coming soon. Have a good day.